What I'm actually going to share with you today is I think it's an overlooked product in the January to June mini catalog. No, not January to June, August to December. See, I'm already thinking ahead. This is the Most Wonderful Time product medley. And what I love about product medleys, Boho Indigo is the one in the annual catalog, and then Most Wonderful Time is the one in this mini catalog. What I love about it is it comes with all of the products you need to be successful in your stamping. So you have the designer series papers, and they are two-sided. There's another gold printed papers that are here, and then there's a really pretty tinsel and some dies and the stamp set, and then you can see here there are stars and then the tinsel. And it's awesome for being able to make all kinds of great projects, excuse me, and it's all together in one big medley. Now, if you use up all the paper products and things like that, and you're like, oh, I wish I had more of this or this or this, but I have the stamp set and the dies now. There's also a refill kit, so you can get just the refill kit of the consumables that you can order, and you can even do that if you don't have the stamp set and dies. Okay, so this is a great way to, yes, Sharon, you are sharp. It is a brought back product medley from last year. So, yep. In fact, funny little story about this. I looked for hours, and I'm not kidding you, for these dies a few weeks ago. And I even messaged some of my team members in town, and I said, do you happen to have these dies? And of course, nobody could help me. And so I skipped that project and moved on. All of a sudden the other night, I had this revelation, an aha moment where I went, oh my goodness, I presented this medley at an event with a group of demonstrators, and I made a display board, and I shoved, I had these sticking onto the display board, and it just dawned on me, oh, I bet they're still on there from last year, and sure enough they were. And I was so glad to find them because I wanted to use them today. So you can see one of the papers that I'm going to use, and actually for the rest of the week now, I'm going to be featuring this product medley in my posts on Facebook. So keep coming back and seeing my projects that I designed using these fun products. So it's very pretty. Okay, so we're going to start actually with the stamping. And I'm just taking a scrap of Old Olive. It is Old Olive, the green in the paper, so that worked out nicely to use the Old Olive cardstock then. And then I'm going to take that tree stamp. And remember, I've been doing techniques with you on Wednesdays, so we're going to do a technique. We're going to stamp that tree with Versamark onto our Old Olive, and you can't see it very well, right? Well, Versamark is an embossing ink. So, among other things, by the way, I should do a whole series on Versamark because it is so versatile, get it? But it is an embossing ink. So when you stamp that, then the embossing powder will stick. And I'm just using white embossing powder. And then I'm going to heat it so that our powders melt together. And I know that a lot of you have done embossing before, so you understand. But I also want to talk about the heat tool that I'm using. Our Stampin' Up! Heat tool is special. Believe it or not, there is a difference. And one of the things, and you'll see it on the end there, this plastic piece does not get hot. So I can touch it, and even though I could totally burn myself by doing that, which I wouldn't want to do, the end is totally cool. Totally cool, man. And I love that. The other thing I really like is it's got a couple different settings, and I'll finish this and show you. All right, so it's got a 1 and a 2 setting. So you can do it at a lower volume and a lower heat level. Oh, I like this setting, especially when I'm embossing on vellum, because then it doesn't scorch that vellum or melt it or whatever. And then of course there's the high heat, which I use most often, I would say, but sometimes it's nice to use that low heat. So it is different. All right. Now we're going to bring in the beauty. This Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is like butter. I just am so happy with it. I cannot wait until the mini comes out, and I've heard rumblings that that news is coming soon. So if you've been waiting for that Stampin' Cut and Emboss mini, stay tuned. I'm hoping to hear it on stage at home next week. Maybe they'll announce something there. On stage is always a good place for big announcements. And you know what? I'm just going to make sure my paper is as flat as I can get it. It's still going to curl up. So then what I do is I take a sticky note, put this where I want it to cut. And it's hard because I can't see over the top of it. And then I put the sticky part of the sticky note, and in this case it's in the middle. But just rub that across so that it stays in place while I cut. And another cutting plate would be really handy right now. Okay, I just literally had it because I cut a second one. While I'm looking, I want to remind you that I have the 12 projects of Christmas coming up. Those are coming up starting on Sunday. So what it is I do a series of Christmas projects where I just do some projects on YouTube. And I do 12 of them. So I call them the 12 Projects of Christmas. I've been doing it since 2014, and it's been a lot of fun to share some unique. Sometimes I have to stretch myself and go, what can I come up with? So I'm going to do a giveaway. If there is a type of project that you would like to see done on the 12 Projects of Christmas, I want you to say so in the comments section. And then if I choose your idea, like some sort of fun fold or some sort of 3D project or even a scrapbook, mini scrapbook or something like that, if I use your idea, then I will send you something fun. So bring me your ideas. I'm almost all planned, but I do have a few slots left where I'm kind of leaving it open, and your help is appreciated. Okay, so I've got my beautiful trees, and this technique is super fun and unique, which I love. So I embossed in white and then on colored cardstock, and then I'm going to take my Whisper White craft ink refill, and I'm going to squeeze some, and I'm getting down there. I'm going to have to order more, I think. But I'm going to squeeze some on my clear black and take a water painter. Make sure there's water flowing. Remember, the water painters come in a pack of 3, and they're at different widths. And then I'm just going to watercolor my tree with white ink. What's going to happen is when you do this, you're going to see that green poke through, and it's supposed to be that way. Especially when it dries, you're going to see a little more green. But I like to use plenty of water when I do this technique because I do like that color to show through. So on Friday when I do my blog, I will be sharing this technique on there, and I will also be showing the card that we made at our techniques class when we did this technique. So check on Friday for that. So back to the 12 Projects of Christmas. Those will be the focus of my blog posts for the next 4 weeks. So during the month of November, essentially, my blog posts will focus around my 12 projects of Christmas. Now, will there be other information in my blog posts? Absolutely. You can see I'm doing 2 of these. I prepared 1 in advance. Okay, so you're probably wondering, wait, we only saw her do 1. I did the other one before. So anyway, don't forget that when I post to my blog these projects, maybe you've seen my 12 projects of Christmas video already on YouTube. Maybe you've already watched. So you think, oh, I don't have to look at that blog post. There's going to be information about upcoming catalogs and classes and other things in that blog post as well. So make sure to go back, click on the link. I'll always post the video or the blog post link to my Facebook page, and then follow that link and then check out all of the information that I'm going to have for you there. Okay? Because you'll want to know some things for sure. All right, so we're going to let those dry a little bit, set those aside. And of course, I will want to clean off my brush. I'm not going to worry about it right now because it takes time to clean that off, especially when you've used white ink. So now I'm going to go to my old olive cardstock, and this is cut 5.5 by 8.5. And I'm sorry, I'm not watching comments right now, so I will be certain to check that out after my haircut, because I will be zooming out of here to get to my haircut on time as it is. All right, so then I've got gold foil paper that I cut the size I wanted. So I believe it's 4 by 5.25. But you'll see the middle cut out of it. That's because I'm going to be layering this piece over the top. And then I'm going to be layering my white on another piece of gold. So I thought, why not cut this size gold out of the middle of this? See, it's not centered, but it doesn't matter because I'm covering it up. So I'm trying to be frugal with my gold foil paper because you know as well as I do that, we like to preserve those glittery things, shiny. So it's just a good way to use it smartly. All right, so I'm going to just adhere this onto my old olives. This is 4 by 5.25. And then we're going to take this piece from the Most Wonderful Time product medley, and that's going to go next. This is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay, so it's cut just a little bit smaller than that gold. And when I blog post on Friday, I'll have the correct dimensions if I goof that up, because I'm already second guessing. Is that right? I don't know. All right, so then the next gold piece goes next. And I know it's kind of sad that I'm covering some of the trees. Then I'm going to take this white piece and I'm going to stamp my sentiment in old olive. Now, this stamp set comes with a few sentiments, one of which is Deck the Halls. And I'll show you the stamp set here so you can see. So it's got Deck the Halls, Comfort and Joy, O Christmas Tree. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. I will be using this product medley in one of my 12 projects of Christmas too, so you can come back and check that out. All right, so I'm going to ink this, Deck the Halls, and I'm going to stamp that right at the bottom of my piece of white. And again, come back to my blog post on Friday for dimensions of this if you like what you see or you like the layout or whatever. And then I'm just going to adhere that right to my gold piece. And now, yay, we're going to get to add our pretty trees. Look at how pretty they ended up. Yay. All right, so I'm going to tell you right now, I should have brought over a couple of things from the product medley that I was going to use. So what I'm going to do is just put this together. Oh, you know what? I need to do the flat one first, don't I? And then I'll probably add what I wanted to add before I post it later tonight. So we'll put the first tree on flat, and you see I can stick it up off the edge, and that's just fine. And then we'll layer the next one on as well in the same way, except popping that up. So you can see Oh, such a pretty technique. I love using the white ink in this way. All right, so what I'm gonna add are the gold stars and maybe a little of the tinsel that is in the product medley. I'll have to play with that and see, but this will be fully completed since I left my stuff over there and I'm in a hurry today. I'm not going to be able to finish it completely, but isn't that pretty? Oh,